the next item that I sold is so big that I had to pre-pack it in this giant box. What the heck is it? Well, I'll put a screenshot up for you. What you're looking at there is a collaboration between Faze Clan and Zuru for a toy gun set. Now, right there, you're looking at the Respawn and the Rage Quit, along with a bunch of these circular red chaos darts that shoot out of these guns. Now, if you haven't heard of Faze Clan before, they're basically a popular group of esports, e-gaming, entertainment, influencer figures, many of whom have their own YouTube channel with the Faze name in front of it. I had heard of them before just from looking across different YouTube videos. So they did this collab and they came out with these different guns. Now, I actually happen to have the Rage Quit gun and the Respawn gun in my store listed separately. But what they did to promote these is put them in these special big cases with combination locks on top. And when you plug it in with the battery, it lights up red all around, which makes it look really cool. So that's why I made sure that that first photo that you saw, it really popped, because that's what's going to sell it right there. You know, something like that, if it lights up, make sure your first photo is the one showing it lighting up. So that's definitely going to go FedEx or UPS. Definitely don't want to send something out like that USPS. Now, fortunately for me, it's staying in New York, which is where I live. So the shipping cost is going to be as low as it possibly can. I sourced it from a local collector who has his own ways through his contacts in the industry that he's able to get promotional items like this. And so he didn't need it anymore. They sent it to him if he wanted to test it. They also sent one of these out when it came out to a bunch of influencers on YouTube to do videos. So if you search for it, you could actually see some YouTubers who had one who actually did like a little tutorial about it. But I was glad to have it and put it up. And I got it as part of a big collection of that with a bunch of comic books for 40 bucks total. So this was great. Very happy. All right, so I've got a good follow-up for you with these vintage black and white music posters. Some of you may remember me picking up a big lot of these at the end of an indoor garage sale last year, and some of them sold for hundreds of dollars. So everything at this point is just profit. And this one here is BB King. So BB King, this is 24 by 30. It's a real classic. This one sold for 75 bucks. So I'm very happy about that. If you ever come across these were used for display in record stores back in the 70s. And so, you know, many of you may remember, you know, going back to record stores back in the day and seeing these displayed on the wall. And so there were many of them that were made. If you want to see the whole lot that I picked up and the price I paid for it, which was pretty low, click the link up top and you'll see more about it. Well, we've got another multi-$100 comic sale coming at you. It's inside this white envelope. What could it be? Well, it's none other than Adventure Comics, number 372 from 1968. I purchased this at an online auction for $161. I sold it tonight on my Whatnot show within about 60 seconds after posting it for $400. So that's a nice profit. That $161 includes the cost of shipping and handling and everything. So I'm very happy with this. Now, why did it sell for that price? The main reason that it sold for that price is that this happens to be the single highest signed copy of this book that CGC has ever graded and authenticated. And it's signed by none other than Neal Adams. You can see that right on the bottom. Neal Adams is revered as one of the best comic artists ever of all time, not just of a certain generation, of all time, right up there with Jack Kirby. So Neal Adams passed away recently, and there's been an even higher demand for his work, particularly signed items, because he won't sign anything again. And so what that means is this will always be the single highest signed book by Neal Adams. So it's possible someone might get a copy of this, right, and have it signed by another artist, and let's say it's graded 9.2, 9.4. But I could still always market it as the single highest graded Neal Adams signed book for this issue ever. And so that's very appealing to collectors. And so that's why this one went so fast. But frankly, Neal Adams is so popular and so revered that this book would be desirable by anyone at that price at any time. So I was just really happy to bring this comic over to the people who follow me on Whatnot. If you're not following me there, it's easy to find me. My username is Primetime Treasure. There's a link in the description section to get you a $10 credit if you haven't used the platform before, and you could use that anywhere. And if you use that, then I get $10 credit as well. So it works out for everybody. And hopefully I'll see you over there on one of the crazy comic auctions. So as you have no doubt seen before, I have a picture of Clint Eastwood that I keep here. That's in honor of my favorite movie, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And I love old Westerns. And there's a lot of people who still do love Westerns, not just in the movies, but also in reading format. And what you see here is a lot of 24 of the Wagons West book series. And you could see that there's a state on the side and on the cover. And there's a whole bunch of them, like there's Arizona, there's Mississippi, there's Louisiana, there's Montana. And the complete set of these has 24 in them. And so I came across these at an estate sale, and I just wiped it out, wiped it off the shelf. All right, so this here is the Wagons West book lot. Because I knew these would sell well. These sold for $170, and I had like 50 cents, 75 cents a piece into them. And so it's a really nice profit margin on them. Remember, these are going to ship media mail. So, I mean, it's just really simple. All you got to do for these Western sets is just look and see how many make a complete set. And they still would sell even if they weren't a complete set, but still complete sets are the best because you advertise them that way. And just great. So there's lots of ways to make money in books, and make sure you keep looking into them, including paperbacks. It's not just all about the hardcovers. All right, now here is a lot of another 24 books that I got from the same estate sale, and they are all by the same author. That author is Georgette Heyer. You should all be on the lookout for her because people love her romance novels and her mystery novels. So there's a lot of 24 of them. It's not a complete set. And for that reason, it's like a mixed up collection. She did, like I said, mysteries, romances. She did historical novels and other types of books. And so it's really just a bulk buy for somebody. I sold them for $60, so I'm really happy with that. Especially considering, like, if you look at the spines here, you could see that some of them, you know, have some damage, like there's parts that are peeled off and stuff. But when you have enough of something, those sort of defects could sort of be excused because you have so much. It does take the value down some, but you could still be nicely profitable with it. So very happy with this set. Be on the lookout for Georgette Heyer. The reason why I have these two poster tubes is because I cut them down from one poster tube. And the reason that I did that is to address an issue that is going on with USPS's ridiculous surcharge of $15 that they are adding onto items that exceed a length of 30 inches, which this definitely does. Well, that's a problem for me because these are leftover and I don't want to just throw them out. And I have posters that sell that need to ship out. And so I had one today that sold for $54.99, and it's the Gorilla poster. It happens to be a blacklight poster, so it looks really cool when you hit it with the blacklight. But even without the blacklight, it's awesome. So it's a big gorilla, and he's on the motorcycle, and he's got the love hat, and it's just hilarious. There's a female version of it as well with like a bikini. So I got them at a flea market. You might remember me sourcing them there over the summer. I bought the guy out. He had found them in an old bookstore that he bought out, and they were like buried in the back somewhere. And so I was happy to get them in bulk, and then they just sell every once in a while for like around $50, give or take like $45, $55. I just play with the price a little bit here and there. So anyway, I'm gonna get it into this now that I cut it down. I just made a little mark, and as long as you cut straight down, then you could snap these little plastic end caps that naturally would go in the regular end. So just be careful when you're doing it so that you don't cut yourself. So, you know, just need to follow proper safety procedures, and there you go. That's an easy solution. All right, do you remember when I went out to that garage sale and I found this Richmond Avenue street sign discarded in that cart with all those other discarded metal items? And this is a metal street sign. It's not some plastic replica or anything like that. And at the time that I found it, it was covered in dirt.
Found it. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I like it. Yeah.
I don't know whose it is. I don't want it.
All right. Awesome. How much?
None. Take it.
Take it? Free?
Yeah, just take it.
All right. Cool. But it was very obvious to me that it was dry dirt that would easily wipe off. I told you this would clean up nicely, and look, it did. Now, the funny thing about this is that I got this for free. And the reason I got it for free is because a lot of people, when they see things like this, they don't realize the potential value that could be there. And one of the things I was explaining afterwards is that there's lots of reasons why people would like a street sign like this. One reason would be people tied to the area where it was sourced from, which in this case is Syracuse, New York. But the greatest chance, actually, in this instance, since it says Richmond, would be someone from Richmond, Virginia, which is not where this sign was sourced. But you got to look past that and just think, what does the name symbolize? Remember, I joked around. I said, you know, it could be someone who loves money, someone who just loves things like with the word rich in it. I joked I put Richie Hustles in there. It was pretty funny. And also, you know, someone named Richard, someone whose last name is Richard. There's lots of reasons. You just got to be creative and think about it and market it that way in the description section. Well, it turns out that one of the viewers, Mary Isa, thank you, Mary Isa, for reaching out to me, because she was really interested in this, and her brother Mark had a birthday coming up, and she was struggling to figure out what to get him. And so she purchased this. Sale price was $100 on this sign, and this is going out to Mark for his birthday. So happy primetime birthday, Mark. Your sister really loves you a lot, and I hope this finds a nice display area in your home or in your man cave or wherever you decide to put this. And I'm glad it's going out to you, man. All right, so as I mentioned before, when I look for comic books to invest in, I try to look for areas outside of what most people are looking for. So while most people are focusing on a lot of the superhero characters, and don't get me wrong, I look at those too, but I look at other genres, and one of the other genres I really like to focus on is the military genre. I've done really well with that over the years, because if you think about it, there's a lot of people who served in the military, who have families in the military, and one of the things they actually did when they served overseas to keep themselves busy is they read comic books. After all, it's a great form of escape. And this book right here is called Battle. It's a great red and yellow cover. The art is by Don Heck and John Romita, two really famous artists. It's battle number 45, and this came from 1956, so right at that tail end of the golden age era. Anytime you could get a book from the 1950s like this that's graded, and it winds up being the single highest graded that CGC has ever graded for that issue, then you could command the price for it. And so I invested $129 into this at an online auction, and I sold it tonight for $350. Now, a lot of people ask me, is there a place where there's a registry where CGC keeps track of how many books they graded and at what grade? And there is. It's called the CGC Census. And that's a selling point of using CGC. That's one of the reasons why it is so popular. So definitely go check it out. And I want to thank Carl Bach, who's a big supporter of this channel, for purchasing this book. So thanks, Carl, and I hope people got some good info out of that comic book tip. Well, I hope you enjoyed seeing all of those different types of items. I sure had fun showing them to you. Let me know down below what your favorite item was overall. Before you go though, make sure you stop by Cindy's store. Cindy is a member of the channel. She got this really cool store called Seven Sisters Books and etc. because she sells a really good diversity of items. She started off by selling books. She's got a family-run business, almost 1,000 items at this point. You'll find clothing, also all sorts of other miscellaneous items. So go check it out. The link's in the description section and in the comment section. This is something that I like to do for all members. I'd like to support you by showing a link to your store here on the channel in one of the videos, and in my Facebook group, the Facebook Reselling Resource Center. There's many, many benefits of membership. Go check it out below by clicking the join button, and I'll see you at the next one, everyone. Take care.